Today on COOLDOG, we have James Marriott, a YouTuber with almost 2 million subscribers, musician, British person, and verified Twitter user. Those are just some of the prolific labels which can be assigned to him. We chat about him being trilingual, the stresses of being a YouTuber, and his new single, Wake Up, which releases July 2nd.
I'm gonna pour a whiskey.
Oh, hell yeah. I've never even had whiskey. What is it? Oh, actually, I had whiskey once in, like, LA, and it tasted like floor cleaner.
Did you have it straight?
Yep. I think so.
That'll be why. It depends on the whiskey. Like, Japanese whiskey is something I drink straight. But, even then, not too often. This is a very special occasion whiskey. So
oh, hell yeah. I mean, it's the COOLDOG pod.
This one goes out to us. Yeah.
Yes. I'm drinking,
yes.
I'm drinking, unsponsored beer. What could be behind my hand? We don't know. It could
definitely not a Corona.
Definitely not a Corona. I would never drink a Corona, especially with these times. I feel like it'd be really insensitive of me to be drinking a Corona.
Cancelled already.
Oh yeah.
2 minutes into the podcast.
But here's the COOLDOG pod. Here's my little cheers.
Woof woof.
Woof woof.
I've got to ask you,
yes.
what dog do you think I'd be?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't actually know any dog breeds by name. So I gotta look this up, actually. Cool.
Okay, well, you can just describe how it would look. If you want.
You'd definitely be like some sort of mix of like golden retriever. Like you got that cozy energy.
See, I was gonna pin you as a golden retriever.
Really?
But that's because I had one. And it was a very sweet, like comforting presence. Yeah. But you've got a bit of chaos to you actually though.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually feel like it would be a bit more. You've got your kind of. I would put you as comforting chaos.
Oh yeah.
So I need to think of a good dog breed for that.
Husky. Huskies are chaotic. They jump all over the place. They're a little bit too feral though. Huskies, they're crazy.
I think I might even put you as a Finnish Lapphand.
What the hell is that? What the fuck?
They are the best, dude. These dogs. They're like, oh man, these dogs are incredible. I'm sending you a picture now.
Oh yeah,
this is you.
Oh my god, I love those.
Yeah, that's Aksel right there.
Those are very cute. Those are very
cute,
very adorable. Well,
and here's that dog as a PNG apparently because I type in Finnish Lapphand and then the same picture of that same dog just comes up. But it's slightly different. That's so strange.
That is. It doesn't seem to be the... Dude, at least is that even a PNG or is it one of those fake... Yeah, this is a fake PNG.
It's a fake PNG,
God,
yeah.
I fucking hate when they do that. That is the most annoying shit.
It's the worst.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the COOLDOG pod, where we talk about dogs and drink some beverages.
And cool things.
Yeah, cool things. Nice. Cool dogs, cool things, and cool life. What's not cool at the moment.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Exactly. Yeah. It's been a great show. I'll tell you what's not cool is the weather in Estonia. We're going through horrible heat waves.
Oh wow.
To all my European listeners and James Marriott, who's here with me today, 32 degrees Celsius every day, man. It's fucking horrible.
Oh shit.
It's miserable.
Yeah, we're kind of the worst we had was a 24. Because I think it was around the 24. Maybe a little hotter actually, but I like my perfect temperature between the 18 to 21, right? That's kind of my that's my ideal temperature.
Yeah.
But anything more than that is quite frankly unbearable because I live in like this apartment has like really big windows and no aircon. So I'm just in like this massive greenhouse and I can't record until like 3 in the morning. But now that it's getting a bit, it's raining a bit, we're all good. I'm ready to record again. So
no, dude, if I can't stream with my face cam on until like 3 a.m. as well because I sweat so bad. I'm sweating right now, even in case you can't tell. I'm fucking sweating up a storm. I got a fan blowing air right into my ear.
You're looking great.
Thank you. You too, man. I like your whole setup. Cheers. The whole like
like the purple digs.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It looks very beautiful.
It's nice. And then just like a bunch of guitars on the floor.
Very musician vibe. Musician core.
I just try to remind people as much as possible. Whenever I collab or whenever I go on a podcast, I'm like, right, how many guitars can I fit in the background? I got my little keyboard. I'll even I'll chuck another synth there as well, just so you
Oh,
can
that's that one.
feel-
I've seen that one on
Yeah,
TikTok. That one's expensive, isn't it?
the OP one. Yeah, no, let's not go into the price because I've only used it about 5 times and people get very upset with me.
See, that's the thing is like I saw that. I've seen many videos about it and I'm like, that's really cool. I don't know shit about music, but I want it. Should I get it?
Oh
No.
god, yeah. I was like, I got it and I was like, I need a synth. I need something to kind of map out MIDI on Ableton so I can just like play it and hear it back straight away. This is not for that. It's really not like this is much better for that.
Yeah.
So I got that and then I realized how difficult it was to learn. It's not like any other keyboard. It's like you construct the sounds. And it's fucking hard. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up my guitar. If I know how to use that, so I'm just going to do that instead. So,
they make it look a lot easier.
Oh god, yeah.
I have a keyboard right there actually. It was when I was like very promptly getting into music at the start of quarantine. And then I just stopped. I gave up on it, but it's still there.
You mentioned it to me.
Yeah, that was actually afterwards. That was when
Yeah.
me, West, and Kaylin Hoover we did a parody of the Dream Road Trip song, and I was like, I put out this like incredible verse, and I was like, man, I'm gonna become a musician.
Mate, it was a good verse. That verse was fire. I was ready for a second.
And then I would still love to do it. I think it's one of those hobbies that I can see myself picking up post quarantine, which is a great segue for me because you know what else is something that I want to start learning after quarantine, and that is something that is related to you. I have been wanting to, for years now, I've been wanting to learn Spanish, and rumor has it that you are trilingual. Is that true?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's an ongoing joke. I think I cannot upload a single fucking YouTube video without trilingual memes being made, even though I don't think I've made a trilingual joke in half a year, at least, right? So that's just the thing, like, oh, our favorite trilingual man has uploaded, because I used to say it in every fucking video. Right. And then I realized my Portuguese is shit. So I can't, if a Portuguese man came up to me and tried to speak to me, I'd be like, fuck. So I don't think I can call myself trilingual anymore. Bilingual, I can get away with. My Spanish is good.
Speak some Spanish to me.
No, this is the worst thing, right? That is, even as someone, you're fluent, right, in Estonian. But if someone went to you at a party and went, "Oh, speak some," then you'd be like, "Fuck off! I'm not gonna speak. I'm not gonna speak some Estonian."
It's always like, what the
chimp?
What do you want me to say? Like, what kind of like what? Like, I don't have some like. They always say like, "Well, speak some," and I'm like, hello, like what do you want me to say? And then even if I do speak it, they're like, oh, that doesn't even sound like a real language. Like, yeah, no shit, you can't speak it. Like, yeah, it doesn't sound like a real fucking language. But I would love to become trilingual. I'm kind of trying to level up in that sense. Spanish is always, because the way I look at it, Spanish is I kind of did the math in my head, and logically speaking, I think Spanish after English is the most like useful language to learn, because it's like when it comes to like difficulty to learn plus like the amount of people that use it, it has like the best fucking ratio.
Yes, I would argue it's very much up there. I think obviously if you're looking at the most spoken languages in the world, you're looking at the Chinese, the French, those kind of areas, and even the Portuguese. But if you're talking about, your connections to the States now, where Spanish is almost seen as a primary language there at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you go to like voting booths and stuff, everything will also be in Spanish.
Yeah. So
it's very much taking over, and I think it's a fucking beautiful language. So hopefully, more power to the Spanish.
I think it is a wonderful language.
Yeah.
You know what Americans love to do? Americans love to say that they can speak Spanish because they all have to take Spanish, and they all take like 7 years of Spanish.
Yeah.
But then they can't speak it. But then they go around saying that they can speak it, because I feel like the way that the school system educates or teaches languages, it's very inefficient, because I learned Russian for 7 years. I can't fucking speak it. I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, I tried Russian at one point, and that shit is hard.
It's a miserable language. It's a fucking ugly language. There's nothing beautiful about it. It's just really annoying.
I know one phrase.
Yeah.
Let's see, with your 7 years of Russian, if you know what this means.
Okay.
Что ты делаешь, когда шторм?
No fucking idea.
What do you do when there's a storm?
That wasn't anything
that's
that I
it.
to learn.
That's for some reason that's the only piece of Russian that's stuck in my head, because I remember the teacher going like, start the deal, let's cut the storm to people, like, and then you'd have to answer like, I'd hide under an umbrella or something like that, you know. So yeah, that's stuck in my head.
I know I can read Russian, and I know like random shit like fucking privet, which is like hello, and then like I know like sabaka, which is dog, kalbasa, which is sausage. Yeah. I know random shit like that, like fucking poliklinika, which is, I think it's like a hospital or something.
Oh, nice.
But would I be able to like hold a conversation? I think I used to be at one point. I used to be I used to be able to hold a pretty basic conversation. But
if there was a dog in a hospital and you needed to say hello to it, you would actually, I think, you'd thrive in that situation.
I would actually do pretty well. I would. I think I would get by in that situation. But anything else, if I was in Russia and a man came up to me and threatened me, I wouldn't know how to communicate my way out of that situation. I gotta say though,
that's a tough one.
My Estonian's becoming worse, man. I speak English way too much. Yeah, and my Estonian is like slowly like sometimes the way I'll word things to my mom, I'll be talking to her and then she'll be just like why are you wording it like that? Like it's like the structure, the way you structure sentences. Like sometimes, you know, when English is someone's second language, they might like structure sentence weirdly because that's how you structure it in their language. Except I do it with my fucking native language because I just speak English that much.
I mean, when people hear you speak English for the first time, I think there is probably a very small amount of people that think you are not, you know, born and raised in England or well, the US probably because of your accent.
I used to have a British accent, you know.
Yeah, you've told me this.
I used to
and
say
now
like,
you take the piss.
Can't. Yeah, I changed because I was bullied into it. I never really like
bullied you.
All my American friends, they would be like, why do you say it like that? And it's like, I realized this, how fucked up this was. Like, you don't go up to anyone else that has an accent and it's just like, why do you say like this, you fucking weirdo? But like, I got
this is what the Americans do. This is what they do.
What do you think about Americans? What's your honest opinion?
I've got nothing wrong with Americans.
I hate them.
I think there's not a single American person I know that I have an issue with, I don't think. I just think that there's something about when it comes to language, I think the British speak it the best. But the only issue with it is you have a lot of dialects in the UK that are fucking cursed.
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as you go into like the Liverpools of the world, like, and if you go too far north, you're in trouble.
Oh,
so but if you're speaking the Queens, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's the real shit.
I watch football. I'm a football fan. So whenever I watch like all the pundits and shit talk about it, and like Jamie Carragher comes on with his fucking Scouse accent, I have no fucking like.
Oh god!
It took me a time to like be able to understand what he's saying. Like it's very like, I don't know where the sentence starts and where it ends with him. Like it's just, it's crazy.
Have you seen those TikToks that are like someone doing an impression of Jamie Carragher?
Oh yeah, I've seen a couple. Yeah,
where it's like, so you got Woody and shit like that. It's so good.
It's
fucking amazing.
I think the UK is like very interesting in that sense because it's like, you know, land size wise, it's not that huge, but like the amount of dialects is like you'll go like 10 fucking miles that way, and then it'll be like sounds like a whole other language. Like it doesn't even sound like it's the same fucking language at all.
There's so many of us in this little country. We're so kind of packed in.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like little villages and stuff. So it's, I mean, I've just described a country, but I get what you mean. So the way there's cities and towns, which are usually more inhabited, and then I get what you mean.
I love the UK. I've been to the UK many times. I miss the UK. You know what I don't miss? Paying like 95 quid to fucking ride 5 minutes on a train. Like that's,
oh my god,
that's the worst, man.
The trains ought to be nationalized. This is a fantastic podcast topic.
It is.
Yeah, no, the trains here are a rip-off. There's actually a big thing, like when you're in school and you start realizing how expensive trains are, there's always someone that's like, you know, it's cheaper to catch a plane to Scotland than it is to get a train. Jesus. And that is true.
That is
It's cheaper for you to fly from, I think you fly from, I can't remember what it's called, London City Airport to Glasgow or something, and it's cheaper.
Dude, get this. I think the last time I was at your place and then I took a train to the airport, the train cost me more than to fly to Estonia.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It is actually insane. It's
and they're assholes about it as well. Like you get on a train, right? And like we were in we got a train. Well, I got a train down to Swindon to record the music video that was coming out soon. But this guy, the guy that was he was kind of just checking people's tickets. A lot of people say they have a rail card here in the UK, which gives you 33% off. But sometimes they'll make you prove that you have a rail card, which a lot of people don't have. Even though the rail card is really cheap, a lot of people just forget to renew it, or they don't bring a copy of it with them or whatever. And this guy was like threatening to prosecute people. It was crazy. The woman behind me was like crying. She was like, I'm going to my grandma's funeral and now you're saying that you're going to prosecute me. And the guy was like, well, you shouldn't have lied about having a rail card. And it was like fucking hardcore.
That guy definitely got like bullied or something. Like there's people like that where I hear on buses, like for example, the way the public transport works in Estonia. First of all, in the capital, it's completely free. Like you can just get on a bus. And if you have a card, you have to have a little card that you like tap against the thing, but it's completely free. You don't have to pay for it if you're a citizen of the city, which is it's very cool. But in other cities, you have to like get a little monthly pass or whatever. And then this is what I found interesting because in the UK, I believe when you get on the bus, you always have to get on the bus at the front, and then you kind of have to like tap your ticket in front of the bus driver. Here, you can just get on from the back doors, the middle doors. You don't have to get on in the front. So you can easily just get on the bus and not validate your ticket. You don't have to have a ticket. But then, if you happen to be unlucky, and then the fucking ticket control people come on, you're gonna be in a whole bunch of trouble. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom like forgot to get herself a ticket or something, and I was like super sick. I got some sort of flu, and my mom was like trying to take care of me. And I remember the ticket control people just being like real dicks about it. Because I looked like I was literally about to like fall over and die. Because I was like about to vomit and shit. And the ticket control people were just like, no, like you have to come with us. And then they take you into this like weird, like blacked out van. Like it's just like,
oh my God.
It's really scary. The one time in my life that I didn't have a ticket, there was one time in my life. And those motherfuckers showed up, and they dragged me into that van.
It always happens like that.
It always happens like that, and it was at the stop that I was supposed to get off at, because they don't even let you get off. They don't open the doors. They only open the front doors, and then they fucking walk in with their stupid vests, and then and then they take you to the van. And I was just like, listen, man, I was just in a hurry to school. I forgot my thing, and then that person was really nice about it. Like I gotta give props to that person. They weren't a dick about it, but I feel like that's the bare minimum, to be fair.
Yeah. I think we do have a system here where sometimes you'll get a bus, especially at night, where the middle doors open, and that's a treat. When the middle doors open, you don't feel bad about not tapping. That's a banger.
Oh, yeah.
And also we have a thing where like if you tap within, so let's say you tap once to get on a bus.
Yeah.
I think they immediately charge you as soon as you tap once, but if you take another bus within 30 minutes, that bus is free. So your travel is like pretty decent, especially if you're just popping to the shops or something.
Oh yeah.
You tap in, boom, go to like a good Lidl or like a superstore nearby, be fucking quick, boom, on the way back. Perfect. One charge for one trip. So there you go.
That's one of my favorite things about the UK. The stores. I love the stores. I love I feel like everybody has their own little store.
Yeah.
Out of all the ones I've been to, my favorite one is probably Tesco. My least favorite one was probably Iceland. I didn't like Iceland.
I mean, Iceland's like when you're preparing for a month. If you're like, oh, budget's not great this month, go to Iceland, pick up some like multi-packs of some frozen shit, and you're good. Especially as a student, you are good. Like they had so much good like frozen vegan stuff, frozen vegetarian stuff at uni that was super cheap. And that was a lifesaver. Tesco's good. My least favorite is Sainsbury's.
Really?
That shit is you feel like when you walk into a Sainsbury's, you feel like you're walking into a Tesco's, but the price is about 1.5 times an average Tesco.
Damn.
And the meal deals, trash.
Oh man,
trash.
Oh, that's no good.
They had this.
The meal deals are the best part about the UK. I like the meal deals.
And it's great because it's like almost if you are a supermarket in the UK, the one thing that you must do, it doesn't matter what you stock, you can stock any kind of shit, but if you do not have a meal deal, you are not getting customers, because there's something about like going into a supermarket and picking up, a sandwich, packet of crisps, Pepsi Max, you're good to go, £3, £3.50 if you're going to Boots. Sometimes more if you're going to M&S or Waitrose. They hike the prices, but it's worth it there. Sainsbury's trash. So there you go.
Damn. Yeah, I get meal deals every time I'm at the train station, which I go into. Yeah. I forgot what one of the things the train station is called. One of the convenience stores. No fucking memory.
Nisa?
No, the other one. It's like Smith. I think it has Smith in the name.
W.H. Smith.
Yes, W.H. Smith. I always go there, and I always get a.
That's a ripoff.
That it probably is. I just go there because it always happens to be at the train stations that I'm at, and I get. I gotta say, man, shout out to Scotland for this. I love Iron Brew. I love it. It's good. I always get it. It tastes like this Estonian soda, which is why I think I like it. Yeah. I was always like curious as to what it tastes like. Everybody always told me it tastes like bubble gum, which I guess I can kind of see where they're coming from, but I wouldn't really say that myself.
It's just like that kind of like sugary intensity. I think that's where they probably are getting that feeling from, because it is a very unique taste, and I guess bubblegum is as well very unique. So
true, that is, yeah. Bubblegum is very unique. I never thought about it.
That's deep. Only on COOLDOG. I tell you what, a new supermarket I went to that is crazy.
Yeah.
The Amazon Fresh supermarket.
Is that the one where you walk out with you don't buy?
It blew my fucking mind. Because I was in Canary Wharf with Aria the other day, and we were just walking back, and I was like, no fucking shot, is that an Amazon shop? And we both looked at it, and we looked at each other, and we're like, that is going to be one of those ones where you walk in and you fucking walk out, and you don't even have to think about it. So we just did it. We walked up, and then these guys, like, there was security at the front, and they were so happy. Like, imagine working at an Amazon Fresh and going, yep, you just walk out. And all day, people are just going to be like, that's crazy. Yeah. You know, that's such a positive environment for a security guard. So he was just like, he was having the time of his life. He was like, you just sign in on your phone, you walk right in and you walk right out. And you can get a free coffee as well.
What the fuck?
Walked in, free coffee with oat milk. Crazy. Literally, like, the machine just dispensed oat milk lattes. And I was like, this is my home. Welcome, you know. And then they got like this extra section for alcohol that you have to walk through, and that I think you're only allowed in if your Amazon account is over 18 with proof of ID. It's
that
mad.
Holy shit, man. What the fuck?
And then we just left. We just walked out.
That is crazy.
And then a day later I got a charge.
I would feel anxious even walking out of that. I'd still be a little bit like, oh my god, what if? But then it's also like, what are they gonna do? Like, they're not gonna tase me for fucking the machine fucking up.
It's amazing though. You walk out and you're so conscious of the way you're walking when you walk out, because you're like, oh shit, I just put this shit in a bag and I walked right out at the front door. It's crazy.
That is crazy. R.I.P. to the cash register people. They're done.
Yeah,
they're done.
We don't need those guys anymore.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Retire.
Time to. This is the most
enjoy
like
your
fucking,
time in southern Spain. Enjoy Gibraltar, guy.
This is the most like fucking Tory conversation ever. People call you a Tory. Is it true? Are you a Tory?
I'm not a Tory. No. I feel like Alfie Days. I'm not a Tory. No. I feel like, you know what it is? It's some people like the way I speak. Some people like the way that I'm kind of like, because I'd say I'm well spoken, but that's because of the way I was raised, and because I did a lot of drama when I was younger, and we were always taught like to project and all of this trash. And my voice used to be a lot more unbearable. But to a lot of people in the UK, especially as soon as you're looking north of London, even if you're looking central London, people get pissed off at the way I speak. So, or they'll go like, oh, you push twat, you know, and then the Tory jokes start rolling in. But no, it's, you know, I don't mind the memes. I don't mind the jokes, because at the end of the day, it's all a bit of fun. But yeah, no,
yeah, it's a bit of banter.
Yeah, just a bit of banter, lad.
It's very interesting. Sorry, I just looked over to my right and my Twitter feed refreshed, and I just saw 20 Frames and Nick just tweeting at everybody, being like, I'm verified now. Like, he just tweeted at Jack Manifold. Earlier, he tweeted at Hassan. That guy is crazy.
Was he actually verified?
Yeah, he got verified. I got rejected today. He got verified today.
Oh.
I don't really care about verification, though. I think it's like a status symbol. It doesn't even...
Yeah, no, it doesn't even matter. I wouldn't even notice if I was verified. Wait, am I? I am.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
See, I told you I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, you got verified early on. Now everybody's getting verified. It's not even that cool anymore.
Yeah, I got verified when it was cool.
Exactly.
To get verified.
When it was like,
and to be honest,
10 people a year would get verified, and then you were like one of the 10 that year.
I was the beginning of this new wave, I think, because I was after like a bunch of like the Minecraft YouTubers got verified, and people were like, "Oh shit, now it's happening. Now the new wave of verifications is happening."
Yeah.
So I was like, as soon as I saw a few people get verified, and I was like, "Hey, hold on, man, I should get verified now." I messaged Ryan P because the E-Boys was still a thing at that time, and he was like, "Yeah, we can try again," because we'd already tried once, and then next thing we knew it, me, George, and the E-Boys account, rest in peace, were all verified.
RIP.
So,
damn, I mean, honestly, the E-Boy shit was just worth it for that. You got verified out of it.
Yeah, we got the blue tick. I haven't even been speaking about this, man. That would be great. Yeah, because everyone in my life's like, was it worth it? And I was like, yeah, no, it was definitely worth it. And now I realize.
Oh yeah, it was 100% worth it.
The tick makes it even more worth it. Yeah,
100% it was fucking worth it. Hell yeah, dude.
You made me click on Twitter, and the Hitler Youth are trending. Wow.
You never know what's going to be trending when you click on that.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and click off. There we go. That's gone now. Very pleasant.
Man. You know what? I find you very interesting because you are one of the people that I've met the most from the internet. And me and you weren't particularly close until like, I feel like the Vidcon London trip. I feel like that's where we really bonded.
Yeah.
And then I feel like after that is where we really became, we were always friendly, but I feel like that's when we really became friends.
Yeah,
but I've met you like
I'm always very accommodating to people.
Oh,
I've always really liked you, so that's helped.
Oh, that's very sweet.
But there's also, I think it was the last day of the VidCon trip. I said something to you, and the way you looked at me changed. I remember thinking like, oh, and like I think at that point you really clicked that I was like that we were like friends.
Oh,
that was a really nice feeling. I remember because you just treated me differently for like the last few hours. It was nice.
Before that I was blowing you off. I didn't give a shit about you. I thought you were like a fucking little
You're like, who's this dude?
Little weasel. No, I always liked you too.
Weird. Yeah.
I remember I found you because I feel like me and you started blowing up at the same time. We both had our blow up like around the same time, and I remember everybody was like tweeting at you, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, I don't know this person yet. Everybody's talking about this person. Who the fuck is this? And I watched your videos, and I was like, this is actually really entertaining. It was when your videos were a little bit more fast paced. I remember. I think nowadays,
my god,
they've calmed down a little bit
now. So many people look like the amount of comments I get on my old videos where they're like, Jesus, what the fuck was James on? And you know what the issue is, right? I was so caught up in YouTube. I was like convinced that I needed to be. Like, you know what it was? I remember I was in a relationship at the time, and I didn't have many subscribers, and she went like, why the fuck are you doing commentary? So many people already do this. You should do something that's new, that should make people want to subscribe to it. And I was like, no, because I'm going to do commentary different to anyone else. And the thing that's going to make me different is I'm going to make a joke every 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I will try to make someone laugh every 8 seconds.
Yeah.
And whilst that might have been a good idea, maybe throw it around with someone and then be rejected, it became my shtick for like a year and a half. So it was just like, you click on a James Marriott video and it was like, I was like, first 8 seconds, if I've not made someone laugh, then I'm failing at this. So it was just full on. And then I got really kind of like, had this huge crisis of like, I'm so different in my videos compared to real life. And I still think to some extent I am. So it's like, I've been trying to bring the two together a bit more. So, but yeah, that was very intense back then. Very intense.
I definitely remember that standing out to me. I was like, I thought it was very funny. I thought it was like, it definitely caught my attention. It was very hard to look away because there was like,
well, that's the thing. You can't stop.
Exactly.
The way it's like, you're locked in and then you're just like, before you know it, the video is over and you've lost 10 minutes of your life. That's the way I saw it. I was like, if it doesn't matter. If someone finds a joke I make unfunny or, poorly said, just in poor taste, right? It doesn't matter because 8 seconds later they'll hear something else. By the time they've even processed that thought, they'll have to have moved on.
Oh yeah.
So that was my thing. And then I realized after time that it was just unsustainable. because it was making me a 10-minute video would take me over an hour to record.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Would do the lines over and over again until they were the right way, that I was saying them the right way.
Oh,
it was
dude,
crazy.
I've been there too. When I was making videos, when I would do voiceovers, first of all, whenever I could never write like a full script. I wrote footnotes, and then I would improvise a kind of like monologue off of what I wrote, because I felt like when I was reading off a script, I was very unhappy with how it sounded. I was like, okay, it's a little bit too obvious that I'm reading off something. Like I feel like it's way more genuine when I'm like speaking from the top of the dome. But then I would do the same thing where I would record it in parts, and I'd be like, okay, I didn't like the way I said this word, so I'd re-record it, and then okay, this part it came in a little bit too slow, and then I would just keep re-recording, and it would take me like absolute ages to get the voiceover done, because I was like so I needed to be perfect, and if it wasn't perfect, I was just so fucking pissed off. And
it's
then
crazy. Like so many people have that. Yeah, no, keep going.
No, it was just like that's basically it. It was just like I was just very like it needed to be exactly the way I wanted it to be. Which is also why I think I burned out.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is the burnout, because you hear so many YouTubers talking about the perfectionism behind it. Realistically, no one gives a shit how you say a line.
Exactly. What I realized was like I'm the only one that's holding myself up to the standard. You know, like
yes,
nobody else cares about it. Like it's literally just me that is like overanalyzing all these specific details of the video, being like, okay, people are gonna see this and they're gonna be like, this is a shit video. It's like, nope, they don't have enough attention span to even notice shit like this.
Dude, they're brushing their fucking teeth with you on in the background. Exactly. They probably listen to 3 minutes of the 10 minutes.
Exactly.
It's like, it's so, it's so inconsequential. Especially when, if we're talking about like the kind of videos I make, which are, if I'm doing my job good weekly, it's like the content is so constant. It's kind of like recyclable. It's in a way, it doesn't retain too much value. You're just giving people, you're accompanying people in a way. That's the way I see like my YouTube videos, at least. No one really cares too much about the way it's shot, the way you look, the way you sound. I mean, you might get a few comments that are negative, but those are only people that are just trying to take out their frustrations on someone else. So it's all very like meaningless, in my opinion.
No, yeah, you need to realize that when you put yourself in front of like hundreds of thousands of millions of people, like you are opening yourself up to like any scenario. Like everyone has their own perception of your video, so it's like, of course there's always going to be a few people that are going to be like, okay, this guy looks washed up, this guy looks fucking like a mess, this video shit.
Is it his flop era?
Yeah, exactly. Like people will always have that perception, so it's like, what the fuck, like who gives a fuck? Like I at this point I'm just like, that's why streaming is really interesting to me, because what I do miss about videos is I feel like with streaming, the audience connection is like 100 times more direct. Meaning that like any asshole can go into my chat and be like, okay, you look fucking rough today. And I'm like, okay, dude. Like, like I'll see it. And at this point, I don't fucking care. At this point, I'm so fucking like, I'm so desensitized to it that like people will come to my chat and say like everything. Like there's always just people that kind of want a reaction. I don't know why people are built to be like this, where I get like kind of trolling and like trying to get a reaction in that sense. What I will never understand is people that are just like straight up rude. It's like, it's not creative what they're saying, it's not productive what they're saying. They'll just go into your chat and like try to tear you down in order to get a reaction, which is just like, I hope you're okay. Like what the fuck, like what is your problem? Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like, I think, as I said, I think people take out their frustrations, and in a really fucked up way. I love the idea of going, I'm helping that person. Like they have come to me to take the piss, or they're coming to insult me. Yeah. But they have left feeling more satisfied than when they joined, even if they're just like hating it. So in a way, it's like, I've entertained you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which may be the worst, like maybe it's just a way of coping, but that's the way I've always seen it.
Still got their ad revenue too. So
yeah, exactly. Thank you for the fucking 10th of a penny. Or mine.
Exactly. Oh man, that is, the internet is just a crazy place, because people will just think that their opinion matters, which is the craziest part. Like I think the
bold of them.
Exactly. Very crazy to think that anybody gives a fuck what you have to say. Like, I'm sorry, but like I don't give a shit. I don't give a fucking single. I seriously, like, what the fuck? who do you think you are? Like, I don't even know you. I would never even have known about your existence had you not left this fucking bullshit opinion piece underneath my fucking work of art. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
crazy.
It is crazy, but like how? So something that I've always found kind of fascinating about this part of the process and the job is that having an audience, having people that care about you. In recent times, what I found really interesting is people will come to me and they'll be like, "Oh my God, when are you moving to Austin?" And in my head, I'm like, "Why the fuck do you care?" Like, what? It's not your move, it's my move. But then it's like, I understand, these people have a connection, but it's also at the same time there's this like kind of like a disassociated part of my brain that's like, what, like, this doesn't make any sense to me. How do you?
I can explain it for you.
Yeah,
really? I think I would call it endgameism. I think it's this thing that has become about, right, where people who consume entertainment on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, they like to see the big moment in Endgame where all of the characters that they love meet each other. So the reason people want to see you in Austin is they want to see you just hop into someone's stream and they can go, "Oh my God,
oh yeah,
I know him. That's Aksel."
And
that is the serotonin boost you get from that is huge. Like I mean, I remember people standing up and clapping at that moment in Endgame where everyone comes together to beat Thanos or whatever. Like, I think that's the reason why. It's because they love you, but they want to see you with those people as well, because they'll love that even more if they go, "I also love this person. Oh my God, they're there together." It's
very much like reality TV. Putting your life out there, you very much become like your own reality TV star, which I think it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, like, I like attention.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh my God, I fucking hate that." Every time I tweet, I get like 10K likes. Like, oh, it's fucking miserable. No, I fucking love it, dude.
Flex.
Like, it's just fucking. Sometimes there are definitely parts of it where I'm just like, oh, like, give me a break, dude. Like, just lay off my case.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I don't like when people complain about the job too much, because I think it has way more advantages than it has like, negatives to it.
I think what people need to understand is everything is a matter of perspective. Like, I think you can't help the chemicals in your brain from making you feel certain ways. I think no matter in what position you're in. And this is a big issue I have, is drive was, for me, when I was coming up on YouTube and everything, like, for me, like, the way I used to treat YouTube videos of, like, as I said, like, every 8 seconds, everything had to be a joke. That was my drive. I was always driven towards making it. And when I started to realize that I had made it, when I hit 100K, I thought I was having a heart attack, because that was the first time that I really had anxiety. And then it just didn't stop from that moment on, because I actually reached the goal. And I talk about this so much. I talk about this with my family. I talk about this with my friends, a therapist, everything. I think the issue with social media is there are, the people that have made it very quickly. These are young people in their 20s, maybe even younger, that all of a sudden go from nothing, from dreaming to having it. And then it's like, well, what now? I base my whole idea of my career and my future on making a YouTube channel and it being successful. Where do I go from here? Do I go for 1 million views a video? Do I go for 10 million subs? I don't know a single person that has hit 1 million subs that has gone, now I want to hit 10 million. I don't know someone who said that to, like, honestly said that to me as their goal, which is crazy. But it's like, once you hit it, it's like, you kind of realize it's not all that you think it was going to be. You see all these people on 1 million when you're on like 200 subscribers and you're like, wow, I'm so jealous. But as soon as you get there, you go, oh wow, it's actually the same. Nothing changes. You don't wake up one day and there's just a butler at the end of your bed and goes, here's your 1 million plats, sir. Do you want a back rub? Like, nothing changes. You're just the same person with a play button.
That is, it is the kind of weirdest part about it. Because for me, like, the come up is really fast. Like, because all that it is a matter of is, like, there's people that will grind. And they'll, like, there's very few people that will grind and they'll have like a really gradual grow up. Like, they will, like, slowly go from 10K to 20K, so on until they get to, like, they're doing it full time. There's so few of those people. Most people they upload a video and then they just get lucky. The algorithm fucking boosts it to everybody, and then from then on, they just have a fucking streak of just like every video fucking hitting it, and then them like slowly developing an audience through that. The way that I blew up was, it was I think it was like November. So I started uploading because I've been uploading throughout all my adolescence, but then I really started taking it seriously, I think like September 2018. And I remember that same month, me and my mom were like struggling to figure out like how we're going to put food on the table in the next week, because we were just like, our money was pretty tight, right? And then by December, I was like having like an insane month on YouTube where I was getting like millions of views, and like the paycheck was like money that I could have never even imagined making in a single month. And it's this like weird thing where it's like, first of all, the first day I got paid from YouTube, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, it was in a way where I was like, I was just really paranoid, because I was like, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make any sense, that like, because you always think about it like, okay, imagine if I actually make it. Like, imagine if I strike gold. Imagine if it all goes well. You don't actually think like, okay, that's gonna happen. So when it does happen, it's like, okay, this doesn't make sense. Something is off. And then the whole time, I literally remember when I was in the elevator, I was like, the elevator's creaking weird. It's gonna fucking fall. I'm gonna die. And then I was crossing the road. I was like, the car is not stopping. I'm gonna fucking get ran over. And it was this whole like weird shit. And you're really like, there's no job interview. Nobody's like asking you if you're qualified for it. You're just you gotta.
And there's no training.
Exactly, no training, none.
Yeah.
The only training you get are from your other YouTuber friends who are all like fucking. When I was coming up, all my fucking friends were like 17, 18, you know? So it's like, what the fuck do you even know at that age?
Yeah. Well, that was what I was going to say, was that when you were coming up and everything like that, it's like, there are not many people I know that grinded, like, or even were that present in the space for a decent amount of time, that are not still around today, making money from YouTube videos. If at any point I went, this guy or girl or whoever is great, I always used to like, and they worked hard at it consistently and asked people for advice, they are still around, and it is now their job. And that's crazy. It is like, I don't think people understand just how viable it is, but it doesn't mean it is something that everyone should or would want to do, because it is very weirdly intense and very specifically intended for a few people. There's only a few. It just so happens to be that the people I interacted with back then, like the earliest people I interacted with, Hoover was one of them, weirdly enough. He was one of the first people in the community to follow me. The Right Opinion. I mean, The Right Opinion is like, he's fucking huge.
He's huge
these days.
now.
Like, he can go away for a year, make a video, and it get like 3 million views in a week. The guy is crazy. Nuts huge. You know, all of these kinds of people, and it's a mixed bag, because when you finally do get it, as you said, it's almost like you realize just how lucky you are, and you go, surely it goes wrong at some point. For a while, I got paranoid about cancer. I was like, I bet I've got a hidden cancer somewhere. I bet this is kind of like my positive. This is my positive month. And then next month, I'm going to get diagnosed with something, and I'm going to die. That's how I used to think that it would go down. Which is crazy. Your mind does this to you, because we treat YouTube as a lottery when we're kids, and then we win the lottery, which is literally just working, and asking for advice, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what the fuck now? What do I?
It's weird, man. There are still
James and Aksel have a crisis on a fucking fucking.
Literally, we're having a fucking existential crisis live. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Earlier today, I was like looking at my Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just tweet, and then like I get like thousands of likes. Like, I remember tweeting for years and like struggling to get like 5 likes. Like, nobody gave a shit for years, and now I just like, I'll put out a fucking random stupid ass tweet, and it'll get thousands of likes. Hundreds of people will fucking give a shit for some reason. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucking crazy.
I posted a picture of me stood in a doorway going like this with the caption, "Mum, I threw up," and it got like 13,000 likes. And I just like, I look back at that and I'm like, why though? Like, I don't get. And then the next day I post about my song that I'm doing, but an actual piece of content, and it gets less than half the interaction. I'm like, What the fuck is wrong with you guys? This is the actual. I've spent money and time on this content, and you preferred Mom I Threw Up. You fuckers.
Yeah, the audience, they have their but none of the stuff that you ever want to do well will ever do well. It's always the stuff that you're like, God. Oh, dude, fuck it, dude, I give up. Fucking have this random piece of shit content that I fucking came up with, and then they're all like, yes, dude, we need more of this. This is fucking amazing. And it's like, what the fuck, man? Like, I spent fucking weeks working on this one specific thing for you, and none of you gave a fuck. Like, and then I do this like one random thing, and everybody's like, oh my god, this is incredible. Like, fuck you guys. Fucking what the fuck?
Oh my god.
It's really interesting. One of the most interesting things I look at it is because, you know, I used to go to school, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty crazy time in my life. And I remember
Nice.
I remember being in the hallways of the school between all the lessons and shit, looking at my phone, seeing what all my favorite YouTubers are up to, and I'm like, so people do that with me now.
Yeah.
It's like,
yes,
we put out our little tweets, and then little kids in the school hallways, they're looking at our faces being like, okay.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that's fucked.
It's fucking crazy. Like,
I get, you know what? Someone I went to university with, I can't say his name now because I feel bad for the guy. He probably mentioned to one class at one time when he saw me on one of his pupils' phones. I didn't go to uni with him. I went to sixth form with him, and he would have gone, I went to sixth form with James Marriott. And now, every time I do an Instagram questions, I get at least 5 questions. Do you know Mr. Dudadum? And I'm like, I messaged him the other day, and I'm like, fam, like, the amount of questions I get saying, oh, do you know my teacher? It's like, fuck off.
That is funny.
Oh my God.
I've had the same happen. I've had the same happen with people where I'm like, it's interesting thing about, like, this random person that I went to school with that I kind of forgot about. They've been thinking about me. They've been thinking about me, and they've been like perceiving me.
My dad's gone like, when my dad meets up with like old friends that have known me since I was a kid, he says that he loves talking about me. And I always find that really weird that there's just like this group of like middle-aged men like, oh, so James is internet famous now. James gets clicks on YouTube's. It's crazy. You know, fucking hell.
You know what the funniest part was? I remember, I think it was like 2019, I was at Disneyland with like a bunch of content creators, and this all comes down to Will and E, which is really funny.
Oh, really?
But a fan came up to us and took a picture with me, someone else, and then I'm Alex, right? And then it was like this picture of all 4 of us, the fan, us 3, and then I'm Alex posted the tweet, and fucking like he posted a tweet, but he cut out the fan, or he like found the picture where the fan was not in the picture. And I remember Will and E responded to the picture and made fun of him for cutting out the fan. And then it ended up on like some sort of weird like Snapchat news thing for what a fucking reason. And then my friend sent it to me. I was like, wow, look at you. You're fucking Will and E is tweeting at you. And I'm like, yep, that's yeah. And it was like, it's so like weird to think about like how everything that I do now might be perceived by people that I went to school with.
Yes.
And I used to make a very big point of kind of separating my like IRL life and my internet life, but now it's very much become the same because everybody knows, you know,
really intertwined. And I was thinking like there can't be many Estonian people that are really clued into like the community on YouTube YouTube, Twitch, whatever, that do not know who you are. Because if you're Estonian and you're looking into it, you're going to go like, I wonder if anyone that's into this shit is from Estonia. Yeah. And then it leads directly to you.
To me, baby. To me.
Come on. Yeah.
I will say this though, very interesting. That 100% used to be the case. Now with MCYT, these motherfuckers don't give a shit, man. Like they're like they'll fucking stan all these motherfuckers, and I'm like, hey, they'll fucking stan Wilbur. Like all these Estonians use fucking Wilbur's music on TikTok. And I'm like, I know Wilbur, and I'm Estonian, all right? Yeah. I'm your connection to him. I don't know who you are, but you're Estonian, but I'm your link to him. And they don't give a shit, man. Like they don't give a fuck.
The one thing I get is, like, with Wilbur, weirdly enough, the only times I see interactions about Wilbur is, like, weirdly enough, a lot of people say they found him through the video I did with him, which is fucking strange to me. Maybe that's just because these are the former people that were like, you know, like e-boys stannies, like with I'm Alex profile pictures, you know, and then they found Wilbur through that video I made with him. The one person I do get, if I go out in public, I am the person that is in Will and E's videos, or the person that is in Memulus's videos. Because Alex and I are kind of more drifted towards US audiences, but then our UK audience comes from Will and George more than anything. But it's always like, and then I like to think that, well, I don't like to think this, but I imagine that when the E-Boys happened, there will have been people in my regular life that would have been into Will or into George and clicked onto the E-Boys channel to see who's in it and gone, hey, what the fuck? That's James. Like how weird that must have been. That I'm just there like, hello, I am also in the E-Boys. Just such a strange feeling.
That is crazy. Yeah, my audience is majority American. I think like 60-70% American, and then like it's like Canadian, Australian, and then it's like this
British.
British people are definitely in there. I got recognized quite a bit at Vidcon London, which was it was a very fun experience. But like
it's weird, isn't it?
It is weird. It's weird. Any sort of convention I've been to, I will say this, man. The worst part about it is when I've gone to conventions with my friends who are more famous than I am, and then their viewers, they go up to them, they recognize them, which is fine. Like, I don't give a fuck. You don't have to know me. But then they feel bad for you because they're like, oh, and you're that guy with the, you know, and then they make it this whole thing where it's like, and it's like, listen, I'd rather you just had said nothing. I'm not some egomaniac where everybody needs to recognize me. Like I remember, and the worst part is when they do recognize you, but they don't really give a shit about you. But then they're like, kind of like, you too, man. Like I remember I was at Vidcom with one of my friends, and these kids come up and they're like obsessed with my friend. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, that's. I was just like kind of on my phone, going through DMs and shit. And then they were giving my friend some gifts, and the guy comes up and he's like, oh, I feel really bad for you because no one's talking to you. So here, have this like weird thing. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like.
When I was coming up and we were doing the Campcast, that was when I was on like 50k subs, and Alex must have been on like, I want to say like 400k. But he was established in like the UK commentary community. He was established.
He's been around forever.
So if people went to Insomnia, they went and they met up to see Alex. But Alex was like, let's do a Campcast meet and greet. And I was like, yeah, sick. People are coming to meet me. People weren't coming to meet me. Like if they were coming to meet me, it was because they liked Alex, and then they liked me as well a bit, right? Yeah. Back then, especially. Now it's kind of like I hope I've established myself in those people's minds. But back then it was like there were people that would like Alex would stand a bit closer because it just made more sense that they'd talk to Alex first, because they would definitely have been there for Alex more than anyone, right? More than me. And then there was one point where someone turned to me and I was like, oh, do you want me to be in the photo? And he was like, can you take it? And I was just there like, fuck, I want to fucking kill myself. Like, I was just like, oh man, this kid has just absolutely fucking done me, dude. I was like, yeah, no, I'll take the photo. Let me tell you, I took the best photo of my fucking life. I'd really treated him to the full ordeal. What angle do you want, sir? You know, all that shit.
I've been the photographer. I've been the photographer many times. I was when I came to Insomnia, that was the first time we met when I was on that trip. When I came to Insomnia, it's a little British convention. I was the photographer there a lot. It was a lot of fun when we were at the pub quiz. You came to the casino too, right? We went to the casino after the pub quiz.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing you. I remember wagging my finger at you. We didn't know each other that well, but I remember I was really drunk at the casino. And I remember I kept having problems at the casino because I kept putting my hat on because I wanted to have my hat on, and then fucking men in suits would come and be like, "So you got to take that off," and I was like, okay, and then they would walk away, and I'd put my hat back on, and then a new guy would come up and say, "So you got to take that off," and then I think like the last person that told me, it's like, you need to stop putting it back on, otherwise we're gonna ask you to leave, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. But that was
Arya and I, no, you go on.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Arya and you met that night. I remember. In fact,
that was our first date pretty much in that casino.
That's the craziest part that is exactly when I wagged my finger at you, because I remember you were sitting at a table with this girl, and I remember I walked past the table and I was like, James, and I saw you at the table with some girl, and I was like, James, and I just walked away.
Oh, that would have actually been it. Yeah, I remember that was so funny. And then I have a story about that actually, but like I remember. Because now she has a friend called Cody as well.
Yeah.
Who I love. Cody's amazing. But at the time, Ari and I were having this amazing chat. We were chatting about art. And like artists being... When artists are in their worst states and the art that they can create out of misery. Which is this amazing conversation. And we were both... I mean, I was fucked out of my mind. And I was like having this conversation with her. And I was like... This is the most amazing conversation I've ever had with anyone. And I'm having it in a fucking casino in Birmingham. and then Aria's friend Cody just comes and sits right next to me and just doesn't say a word. And I'm just like, who the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? And then she said that she wanted to stay and talk to me more, and we already hit it off, which was really nice.
Clearly.
But
still together.
Yeah, we're still together. Yeah, but on that night, I remember it was so funny because we met at the pub quiz at Insomnia Gaming Festival, which is always so funny to me.
That is funny.
And I remember I had this amazing chat, and we were just like. We were being all like jokey with each other. Like I was stealing her hat and stuff, and then she'd steal the hat back off of me, and we were like, oh, even if we weren't like talking directly to each other at the quiz, we were kind of like interacting, and it was so fun. And then I remember I was like, at any given point, I was just like, oh, I want to like spend time. So I'd go like, oh, do you want a drink or something? And then I'd buy her a drink, and then I'd have like a shot of something. But I got so drunk.
Me too.
I got so drunk, and I remember I was like. I felt awful. I was like, I need to go and have some fresh air. She went to Subway. This should have been a red flag. She was like, I'm just gonna go get some bread. Went to Subway. I just went up to the till and went, can I just get some bread, please? I just got like bread with nothing on it, just flat out bread. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go outside and just take a breather. And I saw my friend Phoenix out there, and he offered me a cigarette, right?
I love Phoenix.
Phoenix is fucking. Mate. I still see Phoenix all the time. He's great. I was chilling with Phoenix outside, and I had the smallest amount of smoke because I was just like, I need to just relax for a second. I felt so awful, and I just vomited everywhere.
Oh my god!
Outside, like literally in like the smoking area of Insomnia, I just vomited everywhere. And then someone comes behind me and pats me on the back, and I'm like, oh, good, Phoenix, you're here for me, man. And then they went, you're James Marriott. I look up and I do not recognize this person. This person full on recognizing me while I'm spewing. Like they're like fully like tapping my back to help me fucking vomit while they're like recognizing me. And it was just the most embarrassing fucking experience. I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't stop, but please leave me alone.
That is so... Dude, that night was fucking crazy for me because that was my first trip ever as a content creator. I had never met anyone from the internet, and I was my mind was blown at just like the people that I was like meeting, because I was meeting like all these like random people. And the craziest part was we were going to the casino, and I'm just like waiting in line to like register as a member because we needed to do that to like get into the casino.
Yeah.
And I look behind me, and it's fucking Tom Syndicate, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's always a fucking weird one.
Yeah, I was like, damn, like I grew up watching him. Like that's really weird that I'm just standing up next to him. So we like register, and then I go up to him. I was like, listen, man, like I just gotta talk to you, man. Like I used to watch your Reign of Kings Let's Play, and his eyes light up. He's like, Reign of Kings, and then he goes on this fucking like 10-minute rant, and I was so fucking drunk out of my mind. I didn't pay attention to a single second of it. But he was going on this 10-second rant. I was like, yeah, basically, I wanted to keep the Let's Play going, but Mr. Moon was not having it, and I was like, yeah, man, that's fucking crazy. And he's just having this whole conversation. And at one point, he's like, he comes to me and like, are you paying attention? I was like, yeah. And he keeps going. And then I was like, we were just like hanging out. And then I was having this like, dude, this happens to me at every fucking party. I was at TwitchCon. I was at a party in San Diego. And I have this thing where I have water in one hand, and then I have my alcoholic beverage in the other hand because I'm very responsible that way. That way I never get hungover. And it works like a charm. I've never been hungover. I've been very fucked up, but I've never been hungover. And I remember Pokimane came up to me at the party that I was at, and she was like, you need to be careful. Like, you're going crazy with the 2 cups. And I was like, oh no, one of them was water. Tom Syndicate kind of did the same thing, except he put me on blast in front of an entire group where he was like, this guy's fucking out of his mind. He's fucking double gunning it. And I was like, no, one of them was water. He was like, oh, you're fucking mental. And I was like, what?
Oh, Tom Syndicate is fucking intense. He does not take a day off. I remember being in fucking, I think it was Resonate Gaming Festival or something, and I remember there was just like, I don't know how the night ended this way, but I just looked around and everyone that I came to the festival with, like Will was there, I think Alex was there, there were a bunch of people there, I think Fraser was there with me, and everyone had gone home. Yeah. Everyone. And I just like, and this happened when I was in the bathroom. Everyone fucked off. And I went downstairs and the only people that were left were the organizers of the fucking event and Tom Syndicate. And was I going to say no? Absolutely not. They bought me drinks for like half an hour. I was fucking trashed. We go to leave. Tom Syndicate gets in a fight. Genuinely, like someone starts fighting him. And we have to like, we got like a taxi and the organizers of the event were like, get him in the fucking taxi. So I was like, Tom, we gotta fucking go. It was like Warzone. I grabbed Tom and I'm like pushing him in the taxi with blacked out windows. We closed the door and it was like, fucking nuts experience. And then I remember we go back and he was upgraded to like this really good suite at the hotel and we were all fucked. And I just remember I went into his hotel room with like the organizers of the event. I'm like, I went to stop. There was like a pool table. I remember I really wanted to play pool, but I was just psyched to be able to chat to him for like the first real time ever, but I was trashed. Then before I knew it, everyone had left and it was just me and him. And I was still psyched. I was like, we're about to share some fucking secrets of the game. I'm about to learn some shit from this guy. And he flat out went like, are you gonna leave? I was just like, I was like, okay, wow, I did not realize when I overstayed my welcome. Did I overstay my welcome in the club? The most awkward, like, he was obviously just very tired. And he probably didn't mean it like that. He probably meant it like, oh, I might go to bed now. Yeah. But to me, it came across as fuck off. And I was just like, oh, down I go. But then the next day, he was really nice to me. He was like, oh, we had a great night last night. So I was like, okay,
the funniest
maybe it was
part
just
is,
me. Yeah.
At the casino, I remember everyone was like gambling and playing blackjack. I was just like the little kid. I was scared to gamble, so I just like hovered over everyone's shoulder and I watched them gamble as I just kept getting more and more drunk and just like talking to random people at the casino. And I remember this person that we were with, I'm not gonna name him because this is I feel really bad for him. But I remember he sat down next to Tom at the blackjack table because he just wanted to watch the game. And then they're playing blackjack, and then Tom turns to him and he's like, if you're not gonna play, fuck off. And then this guy just walks off in like the saddest, like he has the saddest look on his face. He just wanders off, and I was just like, "Oh my fuck! What the fuck did I just witness?"
Okay, type it in our chat because I'm trying to remember who that was because I remember this happening, but I can't remember who it was.
That's what.
Yes, yes, it was. Fucker.
I was just like, "Oh my god!" And he looked so sad, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, that's the thing. I think I can kind of understand Syndicate's no bullshit policy because he is so intertwined with insomnia. He cannot go anywhere near the NEC without being stopped when it's insomnia. Yeah. So for him, it must have been like, it wasn't like someone that was integrated with YouTube. He wasn't like a YouTuber or, you know, he wasn't involved in the scene. It was a fan of Tom's that wanted to be next to Tom. Yeah. Which is kind of like, close, but there's some leeway for people that are involved in the scene because it's like, hey, we kind of made it, you know, we're kind of on the same level.
Yeah, there's like some sort of like there's like a mutual respect. Like no matter what your follower count is, if you're in the you're in the clique, then everybody's kind of like, the game. Yeah, you're welcomed.
We're all playing ball here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another wonderful trip we had together was the Vidcom London trip. That one was.
Oh man.
The last trip I had before quarantine. The last time I saw people in real life.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, because I remember when it ended, I was like, I'm going to come visit Estonia.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
And COVID was a thing. I remember Aria and I were kind of, that was the first time where we were like, do we want to do this? Do we want to go to this event? And we were like, yeah, we'll be fine. But I actually think I got ill from that event.
I'm pretty sure Henry had COVID at the event.
Yeah, genuinely, I think Henry might have had it. And then gave me and Aria the antibodies for the whole fucking thing.
Because this was like, this was February 2020, so this was like as it was reaching Europe, and like it was like.
But then there was proof that it was in France in December, so it's like we were having it at that point. So And then Will came over to my house with a respiratory issue. Like, he was coughing a lot.
Damn.
There's literally there is a video on my channel where Will's just coughing and going like, ha ha ha. Because like back then it was just like, oh, it's just, it's just a cough.
Yeah.
This won't be a big thing. I booked tickets to fucking Japan.
I remember
I was like,
that.
I'm going to Japan. Because I was like, dude, the tickets for planes have never been this cheap. I'm going to Japan. and then a couple weeks later, I was like, I'm not going to Japan anymore. That's very much not happening. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
such a good trip.
That trip was amazing. I shared a hotel room with Henry, and I feel like he might have given it to me. I just had zero symptoms, but then I ended up getting it a year later from my mother, and then I had my symptoms were very sore legs, and I had like really foggy brain for like 3 weeks.
Damn.
But like so I might have had it twice actually, which is fucking.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Like my cousin had it twice.
Especially if it's been a year apart. I think then it would make sense,
Oh, yeah.
especially because the antibodies are probably fucked off at that point.
Are you vaccinated yet?
I'm getting my vaccine Friday. Actually, the day that this episode airs, I'm gonna be vaccinating myself. Well, I'm not gonna be vaccinating myself. There's gonna be a professional vaccinating me.
Do you know which one you're getting yet?
Pfizer. I'm gonna be Pfizer gang.
Ah.
Have you gotten?
I had AstraZeneca.
Oh, yeah. I had that option. I was like, it's too long of a name. I'm just gonna go with Pfizer. I've read more about Pfizer. I don't know shit about Astroworld or where the fuck
I've
it's
got
called.
my second one in 10 days.
Holy shit! How much of a space?
It's on my birthday.
It's
on my birthday.
That's a good birthday gift.
3 months ish, just less than 3 months.
Okay, yeah.
I got it early.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. I
pretty well.
Yeah, I just kind of waited because I think vaccinations have been open here for everybody for like a few weeks now, but I was just kind of waiting. It's like I'm not gonna be able to go anywhere anyway, so I'll just fucking wait.
Yeah.
So that the people that really need it can go, and then now it's like
good idea.
Now it's like all the time in the world. But yeah, the Vidcon London trip was damn, that was crazy. Like the crazy thing is at that point I had known Weston and Kaylin for about a month. I met them.
Wow.
I'd really become friends with them in the month prior. And I came to Vidcon London on a total whim. I was not going to come, but then I found out that they were going, and I was just kind of like, might as well. The plane tickets were like $70.
Yeah.
So it was like, fucking who cares, right? Let's just fucking go. Let's have some fun. I'm really glad I did go because it was just a ton of fun.
That was a special time.
It was
really
a
good.
very special time. I feel like so many memories were made on that trip. So many like just memorable moments. The TikTok party was just crazy.
It's so mad to me, like how different things might have been if COVID hadn't have happened.
Oh yeah,
because the group that we spent time with there, it was like if you were to think about it now, if you were to put all of those same people in a room now, it would be perceived so differently.
Oh yeah,
like you, me, Weston, Kaylin, Wilbur.
Oh yeah,
Aria, Henry, fucking like that's crazy.
The crazy thing is
like to actually think about. Yeah.
At the TikTok party, like Wilbur randomly came up to me and took this picture of us, and now that picture like resurfaces every month, and people are like, "How did they meet?" Because that was like that was before MCYT really blew up, and like all these stands, like I don't know what they were doing during this time, but they weren't like following us clearly. And then they always like they're very surprised to like find out that like we've known Wilbur for years. Like I've known Wilbur ever since I started doing YouTube because we were arch Reddit rivals.
See, I didn't know Wilbur for a long time. I knew about Soot House very vaguely, and then Wilbur came over to my house to meet Kenji, and that was in late 2019. And Fraser just ended up being really busy, so I was like, oh, I'll go spend some time with him. Like, and then we spoke about music, and we started writing music together. And then COVID happened, and he moved to Brighton. So by then it was like. And then all like the best thing. It's so crazy to me because when we were writing music together and when we were spending time together talking about YouTube, there was a point where Wilbur was like, "I think I'm going to move into commentary videos. Could you give me some advice on that?" Genuinely. And then he did one, and he wasn't so sure of it, and then he didn't want to do it anymore. And he was very much like kind of choosing his next route, and he ended up choosing the right one. But it's like, it's so crazy to me. Like I remember around that time when he first spoke about Tommy. And he said, and he gave the whole, he's the next big thing chat. And then he was. And then the next time I see Wilbur's in July. And by then it's a different game. Yeah. I don't think he'd overtaken me in subscribers just yet, but it was like, it was inevitable. I think at that point it was like 20K days or something like that. And I was like, wow.
I mean, right after Vidcon London was where he just like really like every time I would like check in on him, he was just like on a whole other level, and I was like, whoa, that's crazy. It
was special. Like I think it's really I hold that part of like that friendship very dearly, especially knowing him right before it really took off.
Yeah, and
being able like I don't know to kind of just chill with him a lot back then before everything happened was crazy. It was really nice.
It was.
He's a genuinely lovely person.
He is. So, he's a very sweet guy. He the amount of like on the Vidcon London trip, like I went to it was a really like random group that we went to dinner with. I think it was me, Wilbur, Elodie, and Arya. We went to eat pasta. I don't even know where you were. I think you were like you might have been recording during this time, but we went to pasta, and we were walking to this pasta place, and the entire time Wilbur's just spitting these like random geography facts, and I'm like, yeah. Like,
oh, he's still like that.
Yeah.
I remember I got into a call with him I think it was like a month or so ago, and he just spoke in Old English for the whole call. he goes in and goes like, I want to speak Old English to you, and I was like, fucking go for it, mate. You just do your own. You do your thing.
He is such an unapologetic nerd, and I think that's one of my favorite things about him. He's so.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I think he owns it.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing.
He geeks out.
I mean, it's great. I feel like someone who is very addicted to their interests is always an interesting person.
Oh yeah, if somebody's like, if somebody's really passionate about what they're talking about, it makes it interesting to listen to, even if I don't give a shit about what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but I do like I'm a little bit of a geography buff myself, so it was a very great conversation to have him with. He started telling me about these like fucking meteors that crashed into Russia, and I was like, okay, all right,
yeah,
all right, I see.
Jeez.
But no, yeah, Tommy Innit is really fascinating because Tommy Innit is somebody who he used to follow me for like a year before he blew up, and he would always show up on my who to follow, and I never knew who he was, so I didn't follow him back until he like started blowing up, because I was just like. Nowadays, I feel like I'm way more like generous with my follows. I used to be like, if I don't know this person, why would I follow them? Now I'm just like, if you seem like an okay person, like I'm okay making that connection. Like I don't,
especially if they're like a YouTuber or something. I'm just like, fuck it.
Exactly.
Hold my follow.
Exactly. Like fucking let's make this connection, man. And then I
think like the Tubbos and the Tommy Innits and the Jack Manifolds of the world. I'm pretty sure they were all following me. So when I followed them, it felt like. I don't know. It just felt it was like fun to me. I was like, oh, I know of these people, but it's like following them back. I was like, hey, yeah, no, you deserve the follow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I followed back Tommy Innit, and he was already like averaging like 50K viewers, I was like, this is pretty baller of me. Like this motherfucker is like 10 times more famous than me, and I'm following him back.
Yeah, that's huge.
Like it was just like the crazy thing is he did the thing where he like unfollowed me and refollowed me, so I would get the notification notice, and then I was like, okay, all right, man, I'll give you the follow. And then we were in like a Discord together, and he randomly added me, and he started messaging me when he was like already like fucking humongous, and I was like, this is like a really nice kid. Like he is literally like at that time already, he was like one of the most fucking famous people in the fucking industry, and he was just like randomly messaging me. He was like. And we were like talking about like fucking school and life, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is like a really nice conversation.
In most communities on YouTube, there are some that there are just bad eggs. There are a lot of bad eggs in a lot of different communities.
Yeah.
And I've not reached a bad egg in that community. And it's like, I fucking pray to God it stays that way.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know the Tommy that I know, in the very brief interactions I've had with him, he's very fucking funny. Like, he will just like, I don't know what it is, but if we're in a group together or something, he'll just fucking insult me. And I'm like, I'll take that. It's funny. But also, like, the way that George is somewhat like Memulous George, is someone that likes to analyze what he could do better. Like, he's always someone who wants to grow and improve. And Tommy has always been so quick to like give him like advice on the new wave stuff and how things may have changed. With there's no ulterior motive there. Like why should someone like Tommy who's doing that well feel the need to help
his
established
secrets.
YouTubers? Yeah, but he does it, and I think that there's some really genuine people in that space, and it's very refreshing.
Oh yeah, I will say George Memulous is also one of the nicest people I've met through it, because I remember I met him on the first trip when I came to London for Insomnia. I remember I walked into IMAX's apartment. I remember because he was living with Alex, and he came into the living room. And he kind of looked at me. I was like, "Who are you?" And I was kind of scared because the way he said it, I was a little bit like, "Uh-oh," like he probably is like, "Who the fuck is this loser in my space?" But then I said my name, and then he just like looked me up on his phone, followed me back, and then he was asking me these questions about what I do, and then he was very genuinely interested. And Mimilos is another person where like I wasn't like a crazy like fan, but I've known about him like for years, for so long.
When he face reveals to you, and then and then he follows you, it's a fucking. I remember when he face revealed to a group of us at Insomnia, and we were all like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Especially because we were commentary creators. And then he followed me the day after, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so sick!" And then like I went into the living room, and I was like, "Did George just follow you guys as well?" And everyone was like, "Yeah, that's so sick." But he's like, man. I remember I went up to him. This is so funny. If anyone that's a fucking E-Boys fan, the first interaction I really had with George one-on-one, there was a point where I was chatting to him and Drew as sharing, but they were the guys that were talking there, really. There was a point later on where I was with, who the fuck, was it Henry? I almost feel like it was, Henry will be upset that I don't think it's him for definite, because I do think it was Henry. I was like, I want to buy George a shot. And Henry was like, I think it was Henry. If it wasn't Henry, it was someone else. But they were like, yeah, just go do it, man. Just go do it. And I walked right up to George. I'm like, hey, let me get you a drink. Like, let me just buy you a shot. And I asked him what shot he wanted. I can't remember exactly. I think it was vodka. Bad choice. And then I went up to the bar and I got him the shot. And then I was like, great channel. And then we did the shot. And that was it. That was all I said. I was like, great channel. And I was like, and Henry still fucking takes the piss out of me for saying that shit. Like, imagine like the one time I'm like, great YouTube channel, and do a shot with him, and then fucking, oh god, awful. Dude,
Henry is one of those people where I'm like, I love Henry. I will always have such an insane amount of love for him. Even if I don't talk to him that often anymore, I'm still like, Henry's one of those people where like, I will go through months where I don't talk to him, but then when we come together, it's this like wonderful thing where it's like we never stop talking, because me and Henry,
those are real friends. Those are real friends. That is a real friendship.
Exactly. Henry is someone who I will always know will look out for me, because he is just, me and him, man. We went through the Reddit crew together, man. That's how you know, like me, Hoover, Henry, man.
Yeah, that's some real shit right there.
We're fucking veterans, bro. Like I know that those two will always have my back. And that's like the special bond that we have. And it's just like, I don't know, man.
Henry's a real one.
He is. He really is. He's always like I remember at any of the trips that I was on, he was always the guy that was always like, when I was like the new guy, because there's always like, your first like convention or whatever, and you're the new guy, so it's always like kind of awkward, like, oh, how do I fit in here? Henry was always the guy that like kind of dragged me into the group and was like, hey guys, like this is the guy. And then that someone breaking the ice for you makes everything 100 times easier.
He's great at it. He's also like, he's just very good. He's a very good people person. He's very good at talking to people. And also I remember like there was a point where he would stay with me and Fraser a lot. And my God, I don't know what it was, but those two together were like, they would interact like brothers, but they were so fucking funny. Those two together were just so funny. But yeah, Henry is
Henry is very funny. I went to Bristol with Henry to we went to see Death Grips because I had a spare ticket. Phoenix was there too.
Oh god, yeah. Was he?
Yeah, and I felt really bad because Phoenix booked the Airbnb, and then Henry made me tea, and then I spilled tea all over the bed because Henry made me laugh so hard that I was laughing, and then my cup of tea just like went all over the bed, and it was under Phoenix's name. But it was such a fun trip. Henry always just knows how to make me laugh. Like he'll just say the fucking dumbest shit that doesn't even make any sense, and then I'll start losing my shit, man.
Oh my god, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I will say this, like, when it comes to the YouTube industry, I feel like the bad eggs, they're really fucking annoying. They're really like they really make me question the entire industry. But there's not that many of them as I would have expected.
No. I think also you learn to avoid them after time. Like, I think it's like, you know who not to kind of spend too much time with or interact with.
Exactly.
I think, it's very clear from the get-go. Fortunately, the space we're in at the moment is a pretty healthy one. I think, you know what it is? I think it's the evolution from YouTube over to Twitch. Like a lot of the biggest creators are now Twitch creators.
Yeah.
Where everything is live and unfiltered, and you only get one chance. You say it and you can't take it back.
Filter. They get caught.
Yeah, the toothpaste is out of the tube no matter what, every single day. and you know, it's not like YouTube where everything's more measured. You know, so I think that definitely does help it. Because if you're playing a character, or if you're not being genuine, that's a lot of fucking energy to not be genuine live for hours at a time.
Oh,
so yeah,
100%. Yeah, it's way easier to put together a little 10-minute video, and then because that has happened where I've met YouTubers that put together a little video, and then you kind of understand a certain kind of perspective of them, what you may assume them to be. And then behind the scenes, they're just completely different.
Did you get that with me? Because I think I'm very different on video compared to real life.
At the time, especially because it was in your like Adderall era where you would like snort a bunch of Adderall and then you know, jokes every 2 seconds. You were very much more relaxed.
I wouldn't do Adderall, but yes. There no drugs involved. People used to think I would do coke on those like before those videos.
It makes sense.
Never.
It makes sense.
I was high on life. I was depressed, but I was high on life.
I gotta say. This is, you know, I'm not going to name any names because I don't shame anybody, but that was one of the craziest things to me about the industry when I had a reality check, was when I found out that some YouTubers do cocaine. I was like, huh? I went to TwitchCon.
Oh, God, yeah.
I went to TwitchCon. Everybody was doing cocaine. Cocaine was everywhere. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? This is like real life. And
this is the way it's like, I remember when I was younger and I can't remember who was talking to me. It was like some adult that was like, I can't remember exactly what they were talking about. I think it was about bankers or something. It was like, what are you, like, young people who go to university who become bankers do with their money when they're like in their 20s and they've got no kids or anything to spend it on? They spend it on cars and cocaine.
Oh yeah.
That's the 2 C's.
Oh,
so yeah, it wasn't like a big thing for me. But I've never been around too many creators that have just been fucking doing hard drugs a lot. But it just happens.
Oh yeah, I haven't been like I haven't witnessed it ever in like a casual setting. It's always like these crazy like rager parties that like where it feels like a lot of these creators, they might not even, it might be like they just want to like get it all out of their system. Like they've been like in their house for like 7 months just fucking grinding away, and now they just want to like
and also
relax. Yeah.
If you're networking and you end up going to a fucking like a Misfits party, right? Or you go to a party which is like established, you know, you're partying with people that are they're you know, they've got experience in this game.
Yeah.
You're gonna go there and go like, right, you're networking in a fucked up way. When you go to a party like that, you are still networking. So you're like, how do I fit in?
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, they probably go, well, I'll just take whatever there is here, because it's like you've gotta get comfortable with people, I guess. But I can totally see how it happens.
I've been to a Misfits party. I went to the Misfits party at TwitchCon. I can safely say
I really want to go to one, because obviously I know Ryan now, so hopefully.
Yeah, I can safely say it was easily the fucking most insane like night of my life. Like it was.
They do it good.
It was a very irresponsible night of my life. I smoked a lot of weed. I drank a lot of alcohol, and then some random guy came up to me and said, "You want an edible?" And I was just like, "I don't even know who you are, but I'll take it." And then
imagine that now.
Dude, I was fucked. I was literally high for like 5 days. Like I was fucked up.
There was a creator that came to Insomnia, because like there was a point at uni where I was smoking weed quite a lot. Like I would say most weekends, but it was like really shit, like Camden weed that my flatmate's boyfriend would just walk into Camden, first person he saw, he'd just buy weed off them, and it was just trash. It was probably tea. But there was a guy who came over for Insomnia, and he brought weed from California, right?
Oh my god.
And and it was like, I remember that was like, it was the first time that I'd ever had weed that was actually, I feel like actual weed. And I was just like, oh fuck, this is a completely different game that I was not ready for. And ever since then, I've really struggled to smoke weed, because it really fucked me.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh god, especially because I was drinking as well. Not a good combination. Wouldn't recommend.
California weed is unreal. Like, you know, I grew up smoking like really shitty like Estonian weed, where it's like fucking God knows what the fuck I'm smoking. I might just be straight up smoking like grass. Like I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And then I went to California, and then I won't name who, but a very big Minecraft YouTuber, very famous Minecraft YouTuber, was smoking weed, and I went up to him. I was like, "Yo, man, nice to meet you." And he just like he didn't even say anything. He just passed me the joint, and I was like, "Okay, all right, man, I'm cool, I'm hip." And I take one hit off his joint, and I was like, 5 minutes, and I was like, "Oh fuck, oh shit."
Yeah.
I was like,
that hits.
Fuck.
It hits different. Yeah.
It really does. It was And then I remember my thing with California is like, I just can't turn down weed when I'm in California, man. Everybody's just like, hey man, want to hit? I'm like, you know what? Sure. And then I'm just like, oh fuck, I should not have fucking done this.
Sat in a chair going, cool the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, my favorite fucking part of any of my California trips is when I sit around, those late nights in California when I've sat around a table, and people might be indulging in weed, and I'm always just like, all right, I'll have a little bit of a hit, and then everybody's talking, and I'm just sitting there like, oh,
yeah, out of your fucking head. Yeah.
I remember I was at one point I was sitting next to my friend, and then my friend turns to me, he's like, you're kind of like the quiet high, aren't you? And I turn to him, and his eyes are getting bigger, and I'm like, what the fuck did I just? What happened to me? Like, what's happening to me? And he's like, yeah, like I know you're thinking right now, like you're thinking about life, and I'm like, I really wish you would stop looking at me. It's crazy. Like and then I don't know, man. So it's see, that's why legalization is so much better, because you know what the fuck you're smoking. Like my friend will pull up to me with a bunch of like fucking Supreme wrap joints, which is like, what the fuck? First of all, like why the fuck do you have Supreme joints? Second of all, I'll know that it's like whatever fucking sativa indica. I'll know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But here it's like, fucking God knows. Fucking
yeah.
If you try a little bit of a new patch, you don't like, you fuck knows what the fuck is coming your way, man.
I remember there was always this one that was like, my friend, his dealer was always like, oh, we got lemon haze. We got like this lemony haze. And that was, I was like, where the fuck does he find lemon in this flavor? Like, I always see sort of like when he used to bring it, I was like, what the fuck? Like, am I meant to taste citrus here? This just tastes of shit.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh yeah.
God, awful.
My friend went to Colorado, and his our mutual friend offered him a weed strain called Afghan Gorilla, which, I mean, if that would be the only weed that I'd be like, okay, bro, I cannot. That is literally like, what the fuck? And apparently it was the worst smelling weed, and he smoked it, and it gave him like a blasting headache. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Fucking Afghan Gorilla, and then it just like gives you a headache. Like, what the fuck? Why is this even a thing?
No point.
Fucking
no point.
Crazy. But let's talk about your music. And there's quite a
transition. so Afghan Gorilla. Now the EP.
Yeah, let's talk about your music, because there's quite a few things that I'm actually curious about your music. So
go for it.
I enjoy your music. There's quite a few of your songs that I've listened to. Your EP fully throughout it all, very enjoyable, very vibe.
Thank you.
Vibe
heavy.
Oh yeah, vibe. That's the most important part to me in music, is when I can kind of just vibe. I can lay in bed. That's my favorite place to listen to music. Laying in bed, I got my fucking JBL Bluetooth speaker, blasting my fucking tunes, man. And your music really kind of fits that vibe. So this is what I'm really fascinated about. Who are your what are your favorite bands? Who are your favorite musicians? Who inspires you?
I like nostalgic, like when you meet someone who's British and you ask them like the bands they listened to when they were like 10.
Yeah,
that's what inspires me. Like reminding people of those times, like taking people back 10 years. I love the idea of that. I'm like a huge fan of bedroom pop and dream pop. Like, and if you show me bedroom pop, you show me dream pop, I'll probably like it, as long as it's got like a good drive to it. If it's bedroom pop, at least. I'm not a big fan of like slow bedroom pop. But dream pop, you can give me something ethereal and cinematic and I'll fucking love it. Like
dream
no matter
pop,
what.
as in like, that's what the mask is. That's what the point of the mask is. That's what
that's not what I mean by dream pop. But power to the guy, power to him. Have you heard the fucking the Sus remix?
Oh yeah, somebody made one of Wilbur's songs. It's
I suck
hilarious.
A dick with a smile.
It's very good.
So good.
Very good.
Yeah,
music.
it's a banger. But yeah, it's like by dream pop I mean like just like an ethereal space, kind of like Wolf Alice do it really well. There's like some good Wolf Alice music which is very dreamy and very very airy. I love that kind of stuff. People always laugh at me when I say I love the 1975, and they do have a lot of shit music, but a lot of it is incredible as well. There's like some really, if you really pick at the right moments of like the old stuff and then pieces of the albums that have come since, there's some really good music in there. So I've always been a fan of that. But I'm just an enjoyer of music. If someone sends me something, I will listen to it and give my honest opinion of it. And I don't know. I've always kind of like associated music with maths in my mind. Like if someone sends me a chord, I can write. If you were to play me a chord, I would have the answer to that chord in my head somewhere. It would be like, well, I know where that goes. I know how the melody would sound. It just all kind of comes together. Yeah. And sometimes I need to reroute and try it again, but it's it all feels very natural to me. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good trait to have as a musician. If it feels natural.
It depends really, because it's like if people like what I make, then it's working. But there's also that part of me that's like, is it just me that likes this? So yeah, him is one that I'm proud of. I think Him is a great song, and that one's all me. There's always there's some people out there that are new faces, like people who really like New Face, and that to me is like, that was more of a project that me and my producer Holder did. It was less. I mean, I wrote the top line and stuff, but he was very much behind the instrumental. And then Cooling was Wilbur's chord progression that he did once, and I picked it up and I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. And then I wrote a song around it. So there you go.
That's crazy. The process behind the genius. So now you have a new song approaching.
Yeah, and you've heard it.
I've heard it. It's very nice.
You like it?
Yeah, I wrote you a little. I remember you sent it to me. I wrote you a little paragraph.
You did.
My thoughts, my vibes. I remember comparing it to like an anime scene.
Yes, and that's the thing is I love music that like anime openers. Like there's like have you watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
No, I just got started with Death Note. That's
you said Death Note, yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen has this amazing opening theme for the second half of the first season. Yeah. Fucking incredible. It's called Vivid Vice. Really recommend everyone listen to it. It's such a good song. And yeah, I love like big bangers, like that like open animes and get you hyped up for the episode. Like I love that kind of stuff. So if anyone ever like, and also like I love it when people this sounds stupid, but like Sonic theme tunes, like those kind of like hyped up feelings, you know. I love
heavy
those
hitters,
kind of,
fast paced, fucking really get to the noggin type stuff.
I always write music between 150 and 160 BPM.
I like
which
that.
is like in my mind it's always like that's how I hear melodies in my head, is about that pace, and no matter what I write, it always ends up being around that. But that's just like I like the kind of the driven feeling of music. So yeah,
I feel that. I was a very big, you know, when it comes to bands, the band that I stand growing up were the Killers. I was very into the Killers, which you as a British person, you know, I mean,
Mr. Brightside
is
that is like a piece of our culture, which is so strange because they're an American band.
Yeah, Lady Gaga literally assumed, like Lady Gaga, I remember on an interview, like I think Lady Gaga was like in the UK, and then our radio station, they're like, what are some of your favorite British bands? And then Lady Gaga was like, I love the Killers. And then the Killers are actually from Las Vegas. Yeah. Which is funny. But it's like a mixture of like them being like so much more appreciated in the UK, and also like Brandon Flowers, the main singer, he sometimes sounds British on songs. Like it's a very easy mistake to make. I feel like it's kind of like it can be made with a lot of singers. I feel like where some of them sound way more British on their songs.
Well, that's the thing. It's like the way because I have vocal coaching now, and the way he makes me pronounce words, it's not even an American accent. It's just kind of this middle point, because it's a lot easier to sing vowels that are like shallower in a way. So it's like muddier sounding vowels, like the mers. A lot like mer is a lot easier to sing than ma is. So it's like you kind of sit in this weird linguistic space of not really being English, not really being American. It's a very weird thing. But yeah.
That is
I just want to get to a point where people listen to a song and don't get the feeling of like, this is James singing this. I want people to think like, this is a cool song and James made it.
That is true.
I don't want people to think this is a cool song and James Marriott is singing on it, like you know, and the director for the music video that we just did said that this is the first time that he's ever listened to a song of mine and gone, okay, yeah, this is a good song.
That's good.
And James is on it, rather than James Marriott is singing this song in it. And it's good. Yeah,
so
that's a good feeling.
You had a whole crew for your music video. That must be like a pretty bizarre like feeling to like have this project that you're working on. That's like your project, and then you know you've brought all these people on board that are kind of they're working for the project, you know. That's a pretty interesting
there was
thing.
A makeup artist, there was like a lighting director, I hired a photographer I knew, Jack. Ash from Lovejoy came down to it. It was like really weird. It was a very I just had an out-of-body experience for the whole day, pretty much. I was just like, I didn't eat. This is the thing. I got up at 6:30 in the morning. I didn't eat a single piece of food until 4 p.m. I existed, and I just tried to perform as well as I could. And it was the director is someone I actually knew when I met him when I was 10 years old and he was 14.
Damn.
We used to do like drama shit together when we were kids, and he used to direct me when we were kids. Because he was like one of the older kids in the drama club. And now he owns his own production company. And he was the one that directed the music video, which is like a really cool piece of like personal history. And it was weird because we went into it and it was like, this didn't feel strange to me because it was just like revisiting my childhood. Like, you know,
that's
Will Dawson telling me what to do and telling me like, no, put more energy in, or let's do that take again. And it was just normal. It felt really,
Yeah, I assume that eliminated the awkwardness of just having to like sing there, like kind of like sing along to as there's like a crew kind of watching over you. I
got into it.
Yeah,
it was like
that's good.
I was really fucking sweat. The one thing is that annoys me is I was really fucking sweaty during the band shots because I won't spoil it yet, but I had to do the band shots a lot of times, and there were points where we thought we'd lost the footage, so I was like sweating like fuck, and then there was like, sorry, you're gonna have to do that take again where you're in the microphone giving it fucking everything, and I was like, Jesus Christ, here we go again. And by the end of it, my hair was a fucking mess. I was just a sweaty mess of a person.
I know all about sweating, man.
Oh yeah,
all about it.
Yeah, you've been feeling that this whole recording. But no, it was such an amazing experience. I'm really, really grateful for it. But a weird one. I hope I get to do it more often. I really do.
That's really cool. I'm really happy that you have this venture to look forward to. It's very exciting.
Hopefully, keep looking forward to it. I want to like I know we're definitely doing this EP at least, and if it goes well, then it's album time, which is
that is crazy. A whole album.
Like we are already planning an album with I'm going to be going to Finland for 3 weeks with my producers and my drummer, and just setting up a studio there and writing an entire album and creating a demo of 10 to 15 songs.
Damn.
And then creating it. Yeah. So that's like crazy, very scary, but very fun.
When are you guys going to Finland? That's right next door to me. I might hop by, you know. Might
do it. Because like my manager who lives in Australia will be coming. Like he'll be coming and chilling.
Really?
I'll be going with Aria. I'll probably bring my cat, to be honest.
Holy shit. Are you guys gonna be like going into like the rural Finland, the forests,
we're going
the lakes?
Get a cabin.
Damn. Yeah, I've been to Finland quite a lot of times. I used to go every year because it's like it's like a 50-minute ferry ride from Estonia.
No way.
Yeah, it's Estonia and Finland are very connected cultural wise because the languages are very similar, and it's like it's kind of like our sister country. And I haven't been to Finland in years though, so I'd love to visit. So depending on
you should, mate. I mean, I might even be going in like a couple months.
That's good. That lines up with my schedule. I might hop by.
Yeah.
Your album might have some fucking Aksually vocals on it, dude. I might lay down down a verse, give a little rap.
You actually have like, it would be really interesting to just use like a really low vocal you could do in sound engineering. I think because you've got such like a crazy deep like rusty almost vocal. Like you sound very. This is the thing, when you started a podcast, I was like, this is the perfect person to start a podcast because you have a very like radio voice. You know, if you up those lower mids, you'd be sounding crazy.
Oh yeah, people have said that to me. They always people have been very sweet to me about the podcast, and the one thing they always say is that I my voice kind of fits it. And also, people used to say about my YouTube videos is like some of my YouTuber friends used to say like, you speak too calmly, like you're too chill. And then I feel like it kind of fits the podcast medium very well because
for sure,
you know, podcasts, people are trying to relax. They're not trying to have
chill.
Yeah, they're trying to have a chill little moment. But dude, I am actually fucking so down to come to Finland. If that's what's gonna,
let's do it.
Little fucking cabin in Finland, man. I fucking love to just chill out. That's exactly what I need, to be in touch with nature, dude.
Yeah,
and I can like,
and you'd be around people just making music.
Exactly.
That's all. We'd only be going there to make music.
Little creative outlet. I fucking create. Dude, that. Yeah, man. I'd fucking love that. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. Damn. Well, you just
fun.
to all the listeners, you just witnessed plans being made live on the show. That's
These are some cool dogs right here.
That is crazy. Well, James, tell them where they can find you. What should they be looking out for? And any closing notes?
Just follow me on twitter.com. That's the place. Twitter.com. I think that's the one.
James Marriott.
My @ is in the corner of the screen anyway. So
James, yeah, exactly. James Marriott YT. It's going to be right underneath his little camera. As you would be able to tell if you're a visual viewer. If you're an audio listener, James Marriott YT on YouTube. Up and coming musician. You should invest early so that you can say I listened to him before he won a Grammy.
Yeah. Okay, let's not go that far.
But it's been great talking to you, James. I'm very glad.
Fantastic.
Very glad we did this, and it's oh my god, an hour and 46 minutes. Wow. It's a real good one.
Big podcast.
Big podcast. Big show. Good for the watch time. Good for the CPM.
Yeah, good for the CPM's going up for this one.
I'm going to be able to fit a lot of fucking ads in this, which is amazing for me.
Every 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Every 2 minutes.
Exactly. But yeah, thank you to everybody for listening. Give us a positive rating on Apple Podcasts. And by that, I mean 5 stars. Don't go below 5 stars. Because why would you? What the fuck are you? Fucking Anthony Fantano? Horrible. And listen to us on Spotify, I guess. Follow me on Twitter @Aksually. I mean, you probably do. I don't know why. Or you might not. Anyways.
Yeah, I'll follow you now.
Thank you. Finally, I've been waiting for it for years. Pretty weird that you didn't follow me back.
Big old follow back.
But yeah, this has been COOLDOG. Goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, James. Bye. Say bye to the
James.
people. Yeah, goodbye, James. Bye.